morning dear student, welcome in online classes of GIS. Again here I am Kapil Sharma with the new topic, that is Indian handicraft and its decline. As you know, in last previous we can say lecture, we have discussed about the chapter and its introduction. We simply can say that a kind of introductory lecture regarding this chapter, that is craft and industries. Through that lecture you have noticed one thing, that here we are going to start knowing more about that the Indian handicraft system, how it declined by the Britishers. So my dear student, in this topic today we are going to discuss about the complete handicraft system of India, how it was very famous and popular among the different countries of the world, but later on it's declined because of the Britishers. So you see my dear student, India had a glorious past of handicraft industry, and finished goods like cotton clothes, jewelry, inlay work, stone carving, etc. were exported to different European countries. Yes, we know well that our country was very famous, especially in terms of handicraft items. Maybe that is just like jewelry is there, maybe some pots, okay, special designed pots, maybe like cotton clothes are there, silk clothes are there, some inlay work, the work of different designs on jewelry. These all kinds of items are there. They are not only famous in India, my dear student, there is a great demand in the other countries of the world. And because of that only, the economy of our country was really very nice, because these all items, they are going to boost up the economy of our country. But what happened later on, you see, especially the cotton textile industries are there. Yeah, we can say the cotton textile, that is not only in India, that is exported to the different parts of the world. Just like there is a huge demand in European countries. But later on, the Europeans feel and they realize it that yes, this profit is going there in India. Why should we are not going to establish our own industry in Europe? Because they know very well that India is the hub of raw material. If we start exporting the raw material from India and then start manufacturing the finished products here in our own native country, then definitely we can earn huge profit, the good amount, and this amount is not going to reach up to the India. Why? Because now we people are purchasing it from India, so simply the benefit is going in the favor of Indians and to the country India. So they want to stop this profit, they want to establish their own industry there in their native country, and for this they require the raw materials. So soon, my dear student, this began to decline. Soon almost all the industries are there, maybe they are related to cotton, textile, some spinning industry, some spinning weaving industries are there. They are going to decline. Why? Because the Europeans realize and they start establishing their own factories. And in their own factories, they start using and install the machines. So earlier, whatever the handicraft items, that is handmade items, we can say, where the Indians are having the kind of employment also. Why? Because they are busy making the different kind of items. But now what happened, that Europeans, they established the machines, and because of this, that lot of people are there, lot of laborers are there, they became unemployed. The reason behind is there that now the manual work that the work are doing by their hand, now that work is there, that is started by the machines. So simply we can say, so now we can say that whatever the finished products are there, they start making there in their own native country only. So because of that, what happened, that there is a great impact on our Indian handicraft system. Why? Because so many craft persons are there, they lost their kind of job, we can say, they became unemployed, they start moving here and there, they start working as a labor. Some of them, they left their whatever the area where they are working, they start moving towards their rural areas where they started the farming also. So this was also the main reason why the student, you see, now the main reason behind the decline of Indian handicrafts, just like already I explained to you that they started their industries there in on native country, they install the machine. So whatever the manual work is there, that is now done by the machines, and as a result, so many craft persons are there, they became simply we can say they lost their job, and now they are moving here and there. Some other factors were also there, just like the cotton weaving and spinning industries, cotton textile industries of India were mostly hit by the British machine-made goods. Okay, so machine-made goods is also the very important reason behind the decline of Indian handicrafts. But except the machine-made goods, some other factors were also there. Because of those factors, our complete Indian handicraft system is going to destroy, going to decline by the Britishers. So one factor is clear to you, that the whatever the manual work the Indians are doing now, that manual work replaced by the machines. Replaced by the machine. This is also known as, my dear student, industrialization. In chapter number 2, we have already discussed what is industrialization and what is deindustrialization. You know well that industrialization at first started by England. Okay, and in this, what is industrialization? That earlier whatever the manual work is there, they are handmade items, they are replaced by the machine. So now the machine made items are there, they are in the market. Okay, and handmade items are there, they are going to be replaced by the machine made. As a result, this process of, we can say, machines and whatever the machine made items, this is known as industrialization. And deindustrialization means, my dear student, that earlier so many rural areas are there, okay, where so many craft persons are there, they are making the different kinds of designs with different kinds of items. Now they start moving towards their rural areas. As a result, the urban areas are there, they are also going to decline day by day. And there also, my dear student, there is an impact of, you can say, machine made items. As a result, this is known as, we can say, deindustrialization. So what is industrialization and deindustrialization? In 16th century onwards, it started by the England, but by the end of 18th century, this spread in almost in all the parts of the country. So this machine made, yeah, we can say, machine made goods, yeah, industrialization is the main reason behind the decline of Indian handicraft. But except this, some other reasons were also there. See, my dear student, just like to decrease export of Indian goods, heavy export duties were levied on them. Why? Because Britishers know very well that if we want to stop the export of Indian handicraft business, first of all, we have to impose heavy tax and heavy duty, so that they are not going to pay that tax. Why? Because suppose if a kind of item, the cost of that item is 100 rupees, but tax is 200, then why I am going to export that item in another country? Why? Because I am not earning, even I am paying from my own pocket. And Britishers also want the same thing, that they are going to start, they imposed the heavy tax, especially for the export of the item. That if Indian items which they are going to export in other countries, if we impose the heavy tax and duty, so they are not going to export that item, and as a result they have to sell those items in their own country only, and we can purchase that on very cheap price. To see, my dear student, that they want to decrease our Indian handicraft persons, and as a result what happened, they are going to impose the heavy export duties. As a result, what happened? On the other hand, tax was not imposed on British goods, or simply we can say nominal import tax was charged on them. So you see, there is a kind of impartiality, that how there is a kind of discrimination. Indian goods, if any Indian want to export that item into another country, then that person have to pay the tax. That was also very heavy tax. I said already that if the cost is 50, the tax is just double. But whatever the items are there, they are the British goods, there is no tax on them. Simply nominal charge and nominal tax charge on them for the export and import. So you see that their intention is clear here, that they want to destroy, they want to decline, they want to ruin the Indian handicrafts only. That's why in India the markets are fully flooded with the British goods. Why? Because they are not paying any tax. No import and export tax is there for the British goods. But other countries, if you will see, in other countries there is not a item, not a single item of India. Why? Because Indian, they stopped exporting their items into different countries. Why? Because there is a very heavy tax they have to pay for this. Next, my dear student, with the expansion of the British Empire, the Indian handicraft industry lost the royal patronage of local rulers also and nobles. Why our Indian handicraft items was very famous and flourished? Because somewhere the royal, means we can say rulers are also, they have given the support to the Indian handicraft persons, because they love handicraft items. as a result, what happened? They have given the full support to handicraft industry. But later on, what happened? When the rulers of India, they also became the puppet at the hand of Britishers. So Britishers told them that you will not going to give the more importance to the handicraft items. You will use only on the items that is made of, that is made in Britain, made in England. You will not use any item which is the local item and a kind of handicraft item, we can say. So as a result, what happened? That the local rulers are also there, my dear student. They are also not patterning them. They are not giving the kind of support. So finally, our craft persons also, they think so that yes, we are not having the kind of support from the government also, and as a result, day by day they start declining. And nobles, with the absence of the encouragement from the government, the Indian handicraft industries suffered a lot. Yes, because earlier they are having the support, full support, because the rulers are supporting, they are providing the kind of help and support. Nobles are also motivating them. This is a kind of encouragement, we can say simply. See, my dear students, suppose if our government is not going to support today, right now, whatever business we are going to start, if we are not having any kind of support from the side of government, automatically there is a kind of discouragement will be there, because if we are not having the kind of encouragement, we are not going to show interest further to expand that business, whatever it is there. It was the same with the handicraft persons also, that they are not having any kind of support from the rulers. Earlier they are supporting, they are patronizing, but now not. Why? Because British has clearly said them that you will not support to your own Indian handicraft items. And as a result, my dear student, this was also the very important factor behind the decline of Indian handicrafts. Next, to feed the industries in their home country, the British required huge amount of raw materials. So the Indian weaver and craft persons were restricted from enjoying access to raw cotton and other raw materials, and these materials were exported to England to feed their industries. As you know well, that industrialization started first from England. So in England, so many industries are there. Now, my dear student, that if we are going to start an industry, so first of all we require the raw material. Why? Because if raw material is not there, then how we are going to manufacture the finished products? And for raw material, the people of simply we can say the India was the hub of raw material. So most of the raw materials are from India. They exported to their native country England. Means there was a very huge demand in England of raw material. Why? Because there are so many industries are there. They started the manufacturing the different kinds of good. As a result, they require the raw material. So what happened, that whatever raw materials available in our country, just like cotton is there, silk is there, some other kinds of raw material like items were there in India, almost all the items are there, they start exporting to England. As a result, our local merchants and traders are there, they are not able to get the raw materials. For example, suppose being an Indian, if I have my own industry, so I also require the raw material, but from where I will get right now? Why? Because whatever the raw material is there of India, they start exporting towards the England. Why? Because there is a very huge demand. So as a result, that earlier the Indians are enjoying the access of raw material, now they are not having the raw material. And the Britishers also want the same, because if raw material availability not there, so how the Indians are going to manufacture? If manufacturing will be not there, then automatically the Indian system of manufacturing the goods, that is going to decline. And they also want the same, that they want to give the more and more profit to their native country. They want to destroy the system, the industrialization of India. So as a result, my dear student, that earlier they are enjoying whatever the raw cotton and other kind of materials, now these all material exported to England to feed their industries. So this was also the very important factor for the we can say decline of our handicraft system. So not only, my dear student, that we have discussed that one, industrialization is the main reason behind the decline of handicraft. Some other regions were also there, just like tax that they have levied on Indians. Second thing, they simply stop the Indians to sell those items into the other countries. Then after, our local rulers are also not given the kind of support, not encourage the craft persons, and as a result that our industries, they face the great problems, and which is a kind of great loss also, we can say. And then after, that whatever the availability of raw material is there in India, the complete raw material they start exporting toward the native country, that was England. And in England there is a great production, and the items of England are also, there in Indian markets, but our items are not there in any of the market of the world. Result is what, that we people, simply lost our business here in India because of these policies. So as a result, here we are going to see now the impact on Indian economy. Obviously, my dear student, that if our complete business, our handicraft business is going to decline, the first and the, we can say, very great loss is there, that is to our economy only. Why? Because earlier I already explained to you that the Indian peasants, means our farmers as well as our handicraft persons, they have given the great contribution in our economy. But now you see that suppose if the complete handicraft item is going to destroy, so obviously there is a great problem, great stuck to our economy also. So now you see that what were the main problems and how our economy is going to disturb because of these policies of the Britishers. See, like the decline of Indian handicraft transformed the nature of Indian economy also. How? That India from exporter of finished items turned into the exporter of raw material. Yes, very important. See, my dear student, that before the decline of handicraft items, India was the country which is going to export the finished products only. Means the manufacturing of the products is in India only, and whatever the finished products are there, our country is going to export to the other countries of the world and earning a great profit also. But now what happened? Just opposite. That now the India, our country is not exporting the finished products, only raw material they are exporting to the other country. Just like the example of England I have given, that whatever the cotton, whatever the silk and some other items available in India, exported to feed the industries of England, and as a result our economy, that is going to destroy day by day. Number two impact, you see, Indian goods were not accepted in British markets, while Indian markets were flooded with British goods. Yes, British, they totally declined, they totally said this thing that nobody is going to purchase the items that is made in India. Number one. Number two, because of that heavy tax and export duty, Indians are not exporting their finished products also in the parts of the world. As a result, the Indian markets are there, they are fully flooded with the British goods. Means everywhere, in every shop and stall you will see the items are there, they are made in Britain, made in England, but our Indian products are not there in England and in Britain. Result is what, my dear student, that the people started purchasing the items made in England, and as a result our own items, they are here in India only, no one going to purchase, no one going to buy them. The reason is what, the cost also, because if you are going to manufacture the thing manually, then definitely the cost will be high. Why? Because one man is busy in making and whole day is busy in carving and many more. But by the machines, within a few minutes only, the same kind of items we can manufacture more than in we can say. So machines one side, and one side the handmade items are there. So easily machine made goods are there cheaper than the handicraft items. So the customer, especially like we and I, we can see that whatever we are in the market, so first of all we will think this thing that what is the cost of the particular item, and we want to buy that item only that where the cost is somewhere cheap, where the less cost is there. So as a result, what happened, that our items are there, that Indian, whatever the goods are there, finished products are there, they are in India only, they are not in any other country, but our markets are there fully flooded with the British goods. Indian artisans became unemployed, they were in search of employment, and that further aggravated the situation. Obviously, that so many Indian handicraft persons and artisans are there, they became unemployed. The reason is there that you all know very well that now the complete handicraft business is declined because of industrialization, number one. Number two, because of the policies of the Britishers, just like they levied the tax, and the royal support is also not there. So many craft persons are there, they left this job and they start moving with the different jobs. Some of them moving there, again they started their farming. Some of them they start working as a labor also. So as a result, what happened, that the unemployed artisans are there, now they are in the search of employment. And later on, my dear student, this situation became very aggravated. Why? Because there is unemployment, so many people are there, they became jobless. So it was also a very big problem. Why? Because they are not able to run the family also in this situation also not there that they can run their family, they can survive easily. With the destruction of Indian rural economy, the British also impact upon demonizing Indian industry by similar tactics, and that lead to the downfall of other industries of India also. So you see, my dear student, you well aware about the policy of the Britishers, that how they are going to destroy the complete Indian handicraft system, and then with the same technique they want to decline the Indian industries also. Why? Because the industries are not going to manufacture now the goods. Why? Because there is no availability of raw material. So finally, not only the Indian handicraft is going to decline by this trend, so many Indian industries are also there. They also decline with the tactics of the Britishers. So this is all that we have discussed regarding the Indian handicraft, how there is a great demand in the world, but later on it declined. Why? Because of Britishers. The reason is what? The Britishers want to earn more and more profit. They don't want that the Indian items and the Indians, they are going to earn more profit. Why? Because they want to destroy, they want to decline this system. They want to rule over Indians for the long time. So for this, they want that the complete situation, we can say the economical situation of India should be very poor. And the main reason behind this, that is only that we have to somewhere ruin, we have to destroy the Indian handicraft, Indian business, whatever it is there. And somewhere by the student they got success also. Why? Because you have seen that how they have given the great loss to our economy by declining our handicraft business, as well as by the declination of our industries also. This is all regarding this that we have discussed about the impact and the decline of Indian handicraft. Even if any doubt and queries there, you can discuss with me. Thank you. Have a nice day.